This is the new RTX 5090, and most people would pair it with an i9 or a Ryzen 9, but we have something different in mind.
This right here is a Lenovo P520, which you can actually buy 8 of these for the same price as the RTX 5090. And of course, we're gonna put these two together to make an awesome gaming masterpiece or a disaster. And you're gonna find out after a word from today's sponsor.
Listen, building a gaming PC is only part of the process. Once you finish planning your perfect gaming PC build to get the best price performance, you need to make sure to install and activate Windows 11 with today's video sponsor, gvgmall. Use our link in the description down below to find the Windows 11 key. Use code TB20 on checkout to save even more money, upping your price to performance game. Then you'll get a copy of the key sent straight to you. Take that key, throw it into a Windows 11 PC of your choice during the install process or after the install is done, and boom, you now have an activated Windows 11 with access of all the features it has to offer. Use our link down below and use code TB20 on checkout and you'll save some money on your Windows activation. Big thanks again to gvgmall for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the video, shall we?
So if you're looking for a really informational video on the RTX 5090, this is probably not the one for you, but if you're looking for some benchmarks in a really weird system, then this is definitely for you because this card has 32 gigs of GDDR7, which is how much RAM this PC actually has in it. So we're in a pretty crazy era where we almost have more VRAM than we have actual RAM.
So shout out to PC Server Parts. We reached out honestly a couple days ago and said, hey, we have a GPU we would like to slap in one of your P520s, which we've done a lot of budget gaming PC videos around these because these are older workstations that have a ton of upgrade room potential, making them awesome for budget gaming PCs. But when you look inside here, what we have right now is a Xeon W2135, which is a 6-core 12-threaded processor, which we could go with the 8-core 16-thread, but from our benchmarks, you're gonna be spending about $100 more and you're not really gonna get that much more performance. It's kind of funny that I'm talking about price performance here when it comes to a 5090, but we decided to get some price performance here. We went with 32 gigs of DDR4 memory in dual channel. That is important. Obviously, this does support quad channel memory, but that does hike up the price quite a bit if you're going through PC Server Parts. The biggest thing here that is important about the P520 is this power supply. This is a power supply that is 900 watts, which in theory should be plenty of wattage for this graphics card. It does come with enough 8-pin powers that we should be able to power this thing. Does it?
Does it only have 2?
Wait a minute, do we? Oh God. Why does it only have 2?
So guys, as you can tell, our confidence level has really gotten low. I think we almost debated getting a different PC, but the video must go on. So we have a Thermaltake 750 watt power supply that the PCIe 16 pin doesn't even have enough power to power the 5090. So we're just going to use the 4 PCIe connectors, adapt it to this card, which should be just fine in theory, and then we're going to run the system on its own power as well. So we've actually done this before. It is doable.
It does work, and our idea is what we're gonna do is run this, because Jonah brought up an interesting point. The last time we got a new GPU with an older system, which to be fair, these P520s, while they're older, they're still very capable CPUs. We noticed that the CPU is holding the GPU back so much and bottlenecking that the actual graphics card never reached its full power draw of like 570 watts, for example, the 5090, but in that system, it didn't get that high, so we didn't really have an issue with the power supply. What we're gonna do is test it with this external power supply, plug it up to our watt reader from a power strip, combine the total system draw. Actually, we won't need to combine it. It would just be from that power strip. See the full system draw, and if it feels like it's lower and this GPU is not pulling the full 575 at 4K gaming, then we can theoretically try adapting without an external power supply. But I've told everyone it has to be a unanimous decision here. Unanimous decision before we do that, but we're gonna run 2 power supplies. You know, let me mention the stupidity here. I'm looking at a build that has the power supply that would make this work, but we're not doing it.
It would still be externally.
It would be externally, to be fair. But we are gonna go ahead, here's the adapter that the 5090 comes with. We're gonna go ahead and plug in 1, and yes, this is daisy chained. 2.
We're gonna use that. Yeah, you wanna do 1 of each.
Oh, so we do have...
We're gonna use
the
P520.
That makes it a little better. That looks a little okay. I thought we were daisy chained. That's why I was a little more concerned. All right, so we're running 2 individual 8-pins. They are individual.
So we got about 300 watts right here.
And then we were like, you know what? The P520, it still has 2 8-pins. So I guess let's just get the GPU installed and then we'll
probably need to do. Did you have an NVMe?
Oh yes.
That'll probably need to go in first.
NVMe. So that right there is a TimeTech 1TB Gen 3 NVMe. Single only supports Gen 3, which is another fun bottleneck with the graphics card. So we'll see what that looks like. But Yeah, we got the Gen 3 drive and 1 terabyte of storage, because that's exactly how much storage you need for a 5090. Had a little technical difficulties, but you know what? We got rid of that heatsink shield. It's a Gen 3 drive. It doesn't really matter anyway. So that's not what we're here for, guys. What we're here for is installing this graphics card. So let's go ahead and open this up. Probably going to be this guy right here.
It's funny because I don't know if we've said this in the video yet, but the 5090s, it's big, but it's not like massive. It's not like, you know, 4090 from like Asus ROG or something like that massive.
So it's in. Oh, there it
goes.
There we go.
It's a good fit.
Look at that. That fits good. Like, again, the 4090, it ain't happening in this thing, but 5090 apparently is the vibe. Okay. Chat, listen here. Okay, so plug that up, which they have this new right angle connector.
We're not going to put the side panel on now even.
Nope.
Because of this. Well, I guess if it was coming out this way too, it still wouldn't work.
No, I don't think it would.
All right.
And then we
attach our final power.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So we need floppy.
Do we need to work as a unit? And it's like those movies where we have to hit the button at the same time to launch the missile.
Yeah, it's like I was saying to Matt. I was like, basically, we just power on the power supply first is how I normally do it, and then turn on the P520. I mean, surely this thing won't pull that many watts just like idling in the BIOS, right?
Now that we have that hooked up, I'm going to grab the portable monitor. I feel like we have to do this live.
Do it over here, yeah.
Yeah, let's just see what happens over here. Make sure it works. And then from there, we actually have a nice 4K 144 Hz monitor that we will unbox to benchmark this thing with, because if we're gonna actually practically use this scenario, we gotta make this GPU bound some way, not relying on that CPU. So playing 4K is the best way to do it. And if you're buying a 5090 and you're not playing 4K, I mean, some people I guess could argue 1440 high refresh rate, but I feel like you should be at 4K.
You know, it's funny, we thought we built the most expensive P520 ever, but I think
let's hold off on that. All right, Jonah, how are you just, I'll watch over here for explosions.
Keep this off. Oh, we need a 24-pin jump.
Oh, okay.
I need you to jump my 24-pin.
Now let's do it old school. Get a little wire.
A little green wire. All right. Now we plug. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this on. Ready?
I'm ready. Okay, 5090's on.
Was that a boot sound?
This is going to post, isn't it? Oh my God.
We're displaying.
Let's go. All right, again, the GPU's like doing nothing right now, so the wattage should be pretty low.
Should it?
It should be. Holy crap.
What are we at?
Oh, wait, that's a volt. Hold on.
Oh.
I mean, we're 137 watts just booting in, so.
We're just on a black screen right now.
We're gonna get Windows installed. Hopefully this thing holds up. If anything crazy happens between the Windows install and us getting games downloaded, we'll let you know. But for the most part, it is now ready to, I guess we'll move it out of the way because we have something else to work on, to get ready to get Windows going, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll build a game on the 5090 and P520. Not the way we intended, but it's gonna happen.
Not even close to the way we intended.
All right, gamers, well, it's just me in here right now. Jackson and Jonah are currently working on something, but I wanted to see before I call them in if this thing is even gonna work at all. We currently have it set up with this nice 4K Arzopa monitor, by the way. Pretty awesome monitor, link down below. Thanks again to them for sending this over a while ago for another project. So we actually have a use case for it now, so that's pretty cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and set this up on a tripod. We're gonna launch Marvel Rivals and see if we can get into the menu after it's loading shaders, check the wattage, and then I'll bring the guys in here to do some benchmarking as long as that works. If we get crashes, then this may be for nothing. This may just be a stupid video that may not go anywhere. But we're gonna try to load the shaders, get everything going, and see what happens. All right, I'm launching Marvel Rivals. Oh, here comes the watts. Okay, we're in. Oh God, it's crashing. Okay, something's happening. We're in a menu running ultra settings. Let's get one more restart and then we should be good to go. All right, so this is without DLSS at 4K ultra settings. Look at the, oh my God, look at the 5090.
Yeah, that is not getting powered by this.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
But hopefully you guys can see, the main thing that you need to see is that, oh, the 50, okay, it went down.
It's chilled now. I think it's because.
It's at like 500 watts.
I think we're getting a little bottlenecking, maybe?
Maybe.
This is the sharpest I've ever seen Marvel Rivals look.
Yeah, what, 16 FPS? Are we just max settings right now?
This is max settings, 4K, no upscaling.
All right, I'll show this in just a second here. I just felt bad. My team was kind of counting on me, and I just wasn't there. Yep, so 4K, and we're just, high settings.
Yep.
All right.
We probably, for context, should have tested this on its own with a better CPU so we know what we're looking at, but we're kind of going into this blind, just seeing if this actually works.
Yeah, this is our first time using the 5090.
This is the first time we've actually used the 5090. But in the NVIDIA app, you can do an override to where when you enable frame gen, you can go all the way up to 4 times, which I did enable. So theoretically, when Jackson dies here, we can switch to frame gen with DLSS, see what that looks like. And that'll probably even drop the wattage even more, but maybe bump our CPU usage up.
Frame gen?
Frame gen, and then above that, where it says off there right there, turn that to DLSS.
Is this gonna... Oh my god.
So the FPS is currently at 320.
I mean, tell me if I'm crazy, but it looks the same.
It looks the same.
It looks smooth. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really seeing like the crazy, I mean, I'll try to pay attention, but in this competitive mode, I'm not seeing any like crazy look at the latency. There's no way that's right. 0.6.
So they did give us, as reviewers, they gave us access to their overlay software they have. So I'm wondering if Afterburner may just not be like...
I've never seen under a millisecond.
It may not have any idea what to do with this FPS or this frame gen here. So, dang, that's crazy. I've never seen this FPS in this game ever.
See, I don't know if I'd run like the, just based on this, just so that I know I'm getting like the best performance, like the lowest latency, I'd probably run this on like a quality mode.
The 5090 works in any system. Forget he's playing a game he can't leave, so he has to grind this one out.
I'm just begging for healing right now.
So this is combined wattage. We're at 459 between the two power supplies, which is fine.
Let's hope we can just stop them here. Yeah, this was kind of a wash, guys. Where's he even shielding? Why is he shielding the wrong way? Die. Reload, reload. Get out of here, Loki clone.
He's kind of thrashing them right now.
How are they still alive? Oh, he left point for that.
Wow.
All right, well, pretty crazy to see without frame gen, like max settings, 4K, this game's not well optimized either. 60 to 80 FPS, and then with frame gen, we're getting like 300 plus FPS, so it's pretty insane.
Next game. Next up is, of course, Cyberpunk. I don't think out of the box, without any, like, you can get like a pre-release version that I think NVIDIA gave us. I didn't load it up, to be honest with you. That should give you the 4x frame gen, but we're gonna run whatever native settings we have here. Right now we're running on the overdrive RTX mode, because it's a 5090. Of course, we want to see what happens here. But I'll be curious to see, without the special, super fancy 4x frame gen, what we'll get here. I feel like it's going to be bad.
575 watts.
What's the watch say? What does it say?
I'm scared to touch it. 740.
Okay, we're currently pulling 553. It's chilling out. Oh, at 580. Is that power supply upset?
It's not even warm.
Wow. Okay, let's, I think this is gonna need some DLSS, don't you think?
Isn't this the demo, the numbers that we saw in Cyberpunk was like 30?
Yeah, on like max settings without any sort of upscaling.
So here we are.
What is this? Music needs to chill.
It's crazy.
Holy crap. Okay, well we got that. Let's go ahead and do a DLSS, which again, this is just normal DLSS. So we'll do, yeah, just do normal DLSS. Let's do FSR. Well, we're unbalanced, you know? All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, respectable. I will say it's really sharp.
It is crazy.
It's crazy sharp how 4K looks right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying 4K is gonna...
Don't get any ideas.
Yeah, don't get any ideas, because I mean, we've had our stances on 1440p and stuff. I'd say 4K does look pretty dang sharp. Don't get me wrong, but is it worth playing at 60 to 70 FPS?
Guys, this is what it takes to run 4K at respectable settings. Take your pick.
And we're pulling about 400 watts, which to be fair, again, there's the 4x frame gen, which people are getting like 200 FPS in this game. I already know, like, one way or another, I'm playing Wukong with that 4x DLSS frame gen for a few. That's going, it's gonna feel so good. But it's working. At least for our sake, it's working. I just love how there is definitely a bottleneck, but we don't know that bottleneck because we haven't tested the GPU on its own. So if I'm just playing this like an average consumer with a 5090, I'd be like, this is cool. This is like really high quality.
This shows the 4K bottleneck where it's kind of like, you know, at CES, they were running this card on, I don't know what, probably an i9 or a Ryzen 9, and they were getting 30 FPS at like the max settings with no frame gen or anything. And that's what we got with the Xeon.
With the Xeon is pretty good. So what we are going to be doing in a later video, minus this goofiness, is we did plan the cheapest 5090 PC using like a modern CPU.
Cheap.
Not this cheap. So stay tuned for that. It'll actually go in a computer and not need 2 power supplies. But no, we'll be doing that later. This will be a better test. But this so far, it's looking fine. I will say too, the GPU with its two fans was running pretty cool. I mean, it is open right now, so it probably would get a little hotter, but we're in the 60s.
We can't close it.
For that wattage, that is very impressive for how much cooling power it has. So let's switch up to another game real quick. We got Call of Duty, because Call of Duty sounds like a fun time, right? Call of Duty, and then after that, we'll run a Wukong benchmark tool and 30 mark, because let's get a 30 mark score. And from there, we'll be done with this science experiment, and this 5090 can actually be put to a good use. Okay, so we waited a while for shaders, and
yeah, I'm hoping that was like a loading thing maybe. But if this doesn't work well, I blame the 5090, not the trusty P520.
this is the first game that we've noticed potentially fatal flaws with this configuration. Why? I don't know.
Oh my God.
What is happening?
Okay, 4K max settings not happening. Something is wrong.
Something is
Let me just try before I change anything else. Let's just go like
go low, basic, I guess. See if like there's not even any DLSS running.
Warzone at 1080p. Playable?
Playable with a 5090? Playable? Testing this GPU in an actual benchmark scenario tomorrow, so we'll be able to compare, but
this just doesn't even seem right. Like,
something seems broken.
4K, 1080p, low settings, high settings, it doesn't really change how the game looks.
It's like nauseating, like the
Dude,
hard
it's making
stops.
my eyes hurt.
Oh! What is happening with these noises?
Warzone play up. No, I'm just kidding. It's not playable. I don't know if this is the P520 or the 5090. It could be a driver thing, but it's more than likely the P520 if it's not a driver.
Yeah, and whatever we're trying to do. So we'll run the Wukong Benchmark 3D Mark off camera, talk about that, see if there's any issues with that. If there is, then there's maybe more to discuss here, or if not, there might just be a random thing going on with Warzone here for whatever reason. But we'll run those and come to our conclusion of this amazing science experiment.
All right, guys, we just got done semi-successfully 5090ing a P520, which is something that you guys probably guessed we had to do. And I say semi-successful because we did have to do some weird power supply configuration, but it never crashed, it worked. The only weird thing is at a certain point in gaming, we would have to restart the system because it would start to get really laggy.
Yeah, that was really weird. We noticed that with Call of Duty, and I was running our 3D Mark benchmark, which we'll talk about here in a second, and it was doing the exact same thing. So I shut down our 2 power supplies here, started back up again, then it started running just fine. It still wasn't great, don't get me wrong, but it was running better than it being super choppy like before. Let's talk about the 3D Mark score, which was a score of 15,272, which is actually pretty low for a 5090. We'll give you all some other benchmarks later so you can compare, but this is a 15 cent per point score for this system. Not great at all. And then lastly, we ran Wukong at 4K with cinematic and DLSS frame gen enabled, not DLSS 4 because it's not available just yet. And we got an average of 133 FPS, a max of 147, and a minimum of 20. All in all, I think it goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Don't do this at home. Don't do this. This is just for fun. This is an experiment. Don't take this too seriously. This is just our fun way of doing something different with the 5090. And stay tuned to the channel because we will be doing the cheapest possible 5090 PC, which actually might be a little more practical, even though it still might not be very practical. But that's what we do here at the Toastybros. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of this video.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/Toastybros. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
This PC will not be for sale at PC Bros because you just wouldn't want it for the price we have to sell it for, but we do have some really good price to performance PCs over there if you want to check it out.
PCBros.tech, we sell awesome gaming PCs, and as new GPUs come out, we'll have those available to you guys as well. Use code Toastybros on checkout to save 3% of your next purchase. See you guys later. Bye-bye.